The mission of Adolescence is a complicated and far-reaching one, which explains why we've dedicated one monthly segment over the course of 6 months to addressing it. We've previously explored the world of the adolescent, as well as the challenges this transition poses for parents. Today, licensed family and marriage therapist John Williams and I discuss the point at which these two realities intersect. When is it best for us as parents to listen, and when is it maybe best for us not to listen and take another action?
Okay. Well, I think that's a good point you made, and I think that the big thing about when you shouldn't listen is in the height of the battle or the argument with the adolescent. And the reason for that is that the adolescent usually is going to bring up issues, they're going to bring up topics as a way of kind of diverting perhaps from whatever the request might be and that kind of thing. So that's not when you want to, whenever you're doing any limit setting, whenever you're clarifying something, that's when you don't want to get into listening. However, and I don't mean it in the sense that you don't listen at all, but you don't want to keep going with it. You want to minimally listen, you want to be respectful in that situation, but you don't want to allow it to go on, and you don't want to change your position. Unless the adolescent can make a very good argument for it right at that point in time. Otherwise, you stay with your position.
Should we, as parents, take such dishonesties that perhaps were dealt personally, or should we focus on the problem that got us to the lie in the first place? How do we approach this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very difficult. You don't want to take it too personally, and again, we're not... lying and being deceitful and secretive is a whole part of this particular struggle that the adolescents are going through. You know, they're trying to separate, they're trying to become more independent, and part of that is going to be secretive, and that's why parents a lot of times complain that, you know, the child doesn't talk to me at all, and that. So part of it is normal, and in terms of the line, yeah, that's going to go along with it.
But certainly, depending upon our age as parents now, we come to the project of parenting with a very different set of expectations, perhaps, that our parents had with us than is common in the culture today.
Right.
So we're certainly being asked to be very flexible in terms of how we approach mentally the project of parenting. Yeah.
Well, that's why I refer to the concept of imperfect control. Because if you went back in time, 30, 40 years, you would probably answer the question and say, no, it's realistic to be able to almost have a fuller control than what we're talking about. And I think that the culture would have supported that view. I mean, there would have been people maybe that were working in this area that would have understood, if you understood developmentally what was going on with adolescence, they could have seen the thing. But I think the culture as a whole would have supported being closer to kind of a notion of perfect control.
Right. For John Williams, I'm Peter Bermudez for Arlington Public News.